Hey everyone. Getting started as a coach is really hard. So deciding to get trained as a coach is the easy part, but deciding to set up and start an actual business as a coach is difficult. So here are 5 things that really helped me get going in the early days that I'm sure will help you too. The first of these, the biggest hurdle to overcome that I personally had, was of putting myself out there. Because like most of you, I had an identity from all of the previous jobs I'd had, right? All the different roles. We tend to attach something of those to our own identity and feel comfortable showing up on LinkedIn, probably not posting anything, but being there as a manager of this or a director of that or whatever it might be. But now you're a coach, right? So it feels different, and suddenly more drawing attention to myself. What will people think of me? How do I start even talking about what I do? So the first thing that I really want to help you with here is to think of showing up on LinkedIn as an act of service. Because without that, people won't hear you talking about the issues that are really important to them. They won't start getting helped already by your content, and they won't really make a connection between your profile and help arriving, right? Because people do want to be helped by their coach. They want to get from A to B to get a better outcome than where they are currently. So unless you start talking about some of those challenges, they won't know. And unless that comes from you personally, they won't associate you with that process and the outcome they want. So getting past it just being flagrant self-promotion and actually an act of service and putting yourself out there is a huge first step. The second bit, and it's a little counterintuitive, is to get your LinkedIn profile right. Now there's quite a bit to this, and I explain it in much more detail in my digital course, which you can find linked in the description below. But I'll just take you through some of the things to take care of initially to get it looking a lot better than perhaps it is now. The first one is a nice, sharp profile picture. You can do it with a smartphone, it's dead easy. Sorry, professional photographers, but a smartphone does the trick. Make sure you have it in portrait mode, so I mean not portrait orientation, but the actual portrait mode that gives you a blurred background and a nice sharp contrast on your face. Have it filling the entirety of the circle on the LinkedIn space for your headshot, and nip into Canva and put a nice colourful contrasting background around it so that it stands out when people are scrolling up and down their LinkedIn feed. And as you've seen, mine is a nice yellow one. Second thing to think about in your profile is just to make sure that your headline says what kind of coach you are. So that might not have changed yet from what you used to do, but having manager of Widget & Co in there isn't going to help your potential clients see what kind of coach you are. Most of these start with something like, I help people too, or I help stressed and busy mums too, or the weight loss coach for stressed out over 50s, whatever it might be. Own that and put it there, and we can come actually to what that actually would be in terms of a niche, controversially, a little bit later. But basically this reads out how exactly you help people and who it is you're helping. So make sure the headline says what you do. And the third piece in profile is to make sure that your about section is used fully to explain a little bit about your origin story, keep it very brief, but more about how it is you help people and what they can expect from working with you. So some profile things to attend to is the second area. Third is what sometimes gets called niche, and certainly in coach school they love to talk to you about niching. So choosing a wodge of people or a section of society to sort of point yourself towards in your coaching offering. I actually think it's a really bad idea to do that, and I instead suggest you create in your mind a client avatar. So by that I mean a manufactured person, but a really well-described person who fits exactly the kind of person that you would feel most resonant in helping. Go to town here, right? Give them a name, give them a gender, choose where they live, what they look like, what they wear, what they used to do for a living, what they want to do for a living, the kind of things they like to do when they're not stressed, all that stuff. Build a picture of them and aim everything you do content-wise at that client avatar. And you will find others are attracted by it, but it makes it so much easier when you have one of those to write to. Fourth thing, have a really lovely way of writing. Okay, I believe everyone has that in them if they allow themselves to post from the heart, from your personal lived experience. So a little bit in the first part about it being an act of service, if you can just remember that and post from your own lived experience around the issues that your client avatar is going to be concerned about, and use imagery, video, whatever you feel most at home with to create content that really resonates with your target client avatar person. Again, there's a ton more on how exactly to do that in my course, which you can easily find. But yeah, that is so important to write from the heart rather than, some of these bland posts that you see that get very little traction, or worse still, AI generated stuff. Run a mile. Don't do that. Fifth and final thing, and this is very important too, start getting your head around a clear A to B process that your clients will follow when they start working with you. So how are they arriving to the coaching? What is the bunch of challenges that they're facing? And what happens in the coaching space with you over a period of time? What are the steps they go through? What transformation might they expect to occur? And what is the end state? Because people, when they buy coaching, they don't buy coaching, they buy a mixture of you and how you show up in the coaching and the potential new reality, new future, and new identity that they will get as a result of the coaching. And here is definitely the place to avoid any coachy language. So none of your manifesting, unblocking, or living your best life, none of that stuff. Save that for friends and family and coach friends. The general population out there would prefer plain language about what they can expect from their time with you if they're going to want to invest in it. So there we have it, guys. 5 things that I found super helpful in getting going. I hope they help you too. More videos to come. This is the first one. I've enjoyed it. I'll get better lighting, better microphones, all that good stuff. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers for now.